Welcome to Real Estate Grad School. We coach experienced real estate agents to create and build the habits and systems that rapidly increase your income, build your team, and allow you a much greater peace of mind. I'm Rich Levin. I've been coaching experienced real estate agents for over 20 years to exceptional success. Come and learn. The situation. Here's the situation. The house is priced at $1.1 million. By the way, the person who's involved in this situation, I probably have some of the facts wrong. I just sort of put in some numbers that made sense to me. And the agent sent her offer to the listing agent. And hers was a full price offer with 80% loan to value, 20% down, 80% loan to value, conventional financing, strong offer. She had pre-qualified the buyer. The buyer was solid. She knew the buyer was solid. Money was there, income was there, credit was there. This was solid. So that's the situation. Nice. Wouldn't we all like to be in those situations every day? The response. The listing agent called the buyer's agent, the agent of the offer. The listing agent informed the buyer's agent that a cash offer of $1,050,000 was accepted. $50,000 less than her offer of 1.1 that had a mortgage. Now, on its surface, that makes some sense. A mortgage offer feels like less secure than a cash offer, but $50,000, very disappointing. As we like to say, ouch. So the agent called me to let me know about this and asked me a question. Could I have done more? Now, when I get a question like that, when there's something disappointing that went on, I listen carefully, because it can be said in one of two very different ways. One way it can be said is, could I have done more? I could, like as if to say, I couldn't have done more. There's nothing more I could have done. I got screwed here. I just couldn't have done more. It's said in frustration. It's said in emotion. And I know when I hear it with that tone, the agent isn't teachable at that moment. When I hear it with that tone, I know to empathize and listen, but not to try to coach. The other way it can be asked is, could I have done more? Looking for something more that could have been done or could be done. Is there anything I can do? Is there anything I could have done? I love the question when it's asked that way, but it takes a very special agent to have the self-confidence, the intelligence, good things, to ask it in an emotional time when you've just basically gotten kicked in the stomach or in the teeth, to ask that question and sincerely say, what could I have done? Or what could I do? And that's how it was asked of me. That's the question the buyer's agent asked me. And before I share my response, you need to know something about this agent. She has, as you can tell, an absolutely excellent perspective, the right perspective about her real estate business. Solid. I learned her perspective from a trainer many years ago named Tommy Hopkins. Tommy Hopkins might have been one of the first national real estate trainers. He started in California. I heard him in Rochester, New York. I went for a 2-day workshop with him in Syracuse, my second week in the business. And he taught a series of affirmations. And I still have them on cards to this day. I wrote them out here for you. There were many of these, a dozen of them. I'm giving you just a few. This is the perspective and the attitude of this agent. You could write this down. I would want you to write this down. I had these on my wall. I repeated these to myself. I learned these. I memorized these. They became who I am. One of them is, I never see failure as failure, but only as a learning experience. I never see failure as failure, but only as a learning experience. I never see failure as failure, but only as a learning experience. I love that. I live by that. I lived and I live by that. Another, I never see failure as failure, but only the game I must play to win. I never see failure as failure, but only as the game I must play to win. I never see failure as failure, but only as the game I must play to win. Now, it's not a game. It's a business. It's a profession. Serious. People's money on the line, people's happiness on the line, people's homes on the line. But when you fail, you have to take it like a game. That you still have a house to live in, you still have a career to build, you still got clients to serve, you still got to help these people buy a house or sell their house. I never see failure as failure, but only as a game I must play to win. I like that one too, not as much as the first one. And then this one's beautiful. I am not judged by the number of times I fail, but by the number of times I succeed. And the number of times I succeed is in direct proportion to the number of times I can fail and keep trying. I love that. I'm not judged by the number of times I fail, but by the number of times I succeed. And the number of times I succeed is in direct proportion to the number of times I can fail and keep trying. One more. I'm not judged by the number of times I fail, but by the number of times I succeed. And the number of times I succeed is in direct proportion to the number of times I can fail and keep on trying. I love that. That is the attitude and perspective that this agent has towards the business. It's perfect for growth and success. As a matter of fact, it is the attitude of growth and success. So, could I have done more? So that's the question that she asked me. Could I have done more? And I answered with a question. How hard did you sell your offer? How hard did you sell your offer to the listing agent? Now, some of you understand what I mean by that. I'll explain to the rest of you. I asked, did you send your offer to the listing agent? And that's it. Maybe you spoke to the listing agent. Maybe you told them you'd spoken to the bank. Maybe you asked the listing agent if they had any questions. Maybe you asked the listing agent if there were any other offers. Maybe you asked the listing agent. Anything you can ask the listing agent is great. But I'm not, and that's another good topic. The questions you ask the listing agent when you send your offer, the relationship you develop with the listing agent when you send your offer. But that's not what we're talking about here. I'm saying, how hard did you sell your offer to the listing agent? Did you just send your offer, or did you talk to the listing agent and say, if you get a cash offer for less, please know that I've spoken with a bank and this offer is as good as cash. The buyer has been on the job for over a decade. He's been promoted many times. He's overqualified for the amount of the mortgage. He could take out a bigger mortgage, but he didn't want to spend more than this. His credit is nearly perfect. This offer is as good as cash. I'm suggesting you repeat that. This offer is as good as cash. I'll explain why you repeat that as we go along. This offer is as good as cash. You're saying that to the listing agent. See, two things. Number one, all of the things you say have to be true. And you need to be able to back them up. If you didn't talk to the bank, don't say you did. If you don't know if he has perfect credit, or if he doesn't, don't say he does, or they do. All the things you say have to be true. Okay, that's it. Now, maybe in your world they don't. That's up to you. In my world, they all need to be true. Typically, agents who don't tell the truth don't coach with me because they know I don't work that way, I don't coach that way, I don't approve. Now, there are some bendings you can do, but for the most part, in a situation like this, for sure, if you say these things with commitment, they need to be true. But second, and more importantly, you are giving the agent, the listing agent, you are giving the listing agent the words they can and they will actually use with the seller if and when it becomes necessary. I have had agents say to me, Rich, man, I am so glad I spoke with you. I knew it was better for my clients to take your offer. I used exactly the words you gave me, exactly your words to show them. You know, this offer's as good as cash. I know this agent. I know he's got integrity. This is as good as offer. Don't let $50,000 lay on the table. It worked. They're taking your offer. It's going to happen in a lot of different ways. It's not just this scenario. I'm giving you this scenario because this is the one that actually happened to an agent that I spoke with in the last week. You need to sell your offer. You see, since 2012, for over a decade, the real estate market was so strong that agents didn't need to sell as skillfully as they do now. Many agents who came into the business during that 10 years never learned to sell skillfully. And the ones that never stopped selling skillfully, the ones that learned to sell with skill before that time and continued throughout, man, they made the most money. Selling skillfully is built into everything I teach you every time we talk, every first 15, every live call. Selling skillfully is built into what I'm coaching you to do every day. So when I say write something down, you might want to write it down. When I give you language, when I suggest this agent might have said this, or when we ask questions back and forth, when I say, listen, you know, Marie or Shandy or somebody else will come up with, and I'll say, listen to that, write that language down. That's great language. Write that down. I'll say that to you every single time, man, I'd have a pen in your hand to write it down. Because what I'm saying to you is that's skillful speaking, that's skillful selling, that's what greatness in this business is made of. And you learn the concepts around it, you learn the language. So I say, listen, learn, and do. It's fun to build these skills. It's interesting. It's powerful. It gives you control. It's very profitable. I have two sons, neither one of them in real estate. I encouraged them both. I wanted both to go. Neither one did. Both very successful. And my younger son, who is wildly successful, I would say to him sometimes, where'd you learn that? And he said to me, Dad, your office was next to my bedroom in our house over on Model Lane. I listened. He said, I learned. So it takes a lifetime of effort and work. But the things you're learning, the skills we're developing in you, are really the skills that help you in life, they help you in all kinds of situations, and they certainly help you in your business. This is an example of one of them. And this is an example of an agent who is just learning at a rapid pace. It's so fun to coach her. You know, I never mind talking to her because she takes in the things I say, she applies them, and I can tell each time there's growth. And I invite all of you to one-on-one coaching. You can call me every day if you like. If you're a group, send me emails and we'll communicate that way or get on live calls. But I invite you to use me up and let's talk. Sometimes we go back. Some of my clients who make high six figures and seven-figure $1 million plus incomes, we come to these best language together. We go back and forth to get it comfortable for them. And I don't know where a God-given sort of skill set that I've developed over the years, and I love passing it on. So let's take advantage. and there is so much benefit to you in it. And this agent in this situation was a good example to learn from it. Just click on the link below. I'd look forward to speaking with you.